Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is a live recording of a 50-minute full body flow. I don't use any props, but find some space to move, and let's get started. Welcome, everybody, and happy Monday as well. So let's see. I'm not going to use any props today, but feel free to have what you like close by. And I think that we'll start just sitting down as well. So any comfy seat would be great. You might place your hands on your knees or in your lap, and we'll just take a few shoulder rolls going backwards. You might close your eyes, and as you inhale, lift your shoulders up. And exhale, roll them back and down. Inhale to lift them up. And exhale as you roll them back and down. And then just keep going with your own breath, but go for a nice big circle. And maybe do one more going backwards, and then we will go forwards. So you can try to go back a little bit and up and then forwards, but still try to move with the breath here. Inhale to lift the shoulders up, and exhale as you roll them down and forwards. And maybe your hands start to lift up. Your whole arm could be involved. Just trying to move the shoulders in a nice circle shape and as big of a circle as you can possibly draw. And then do one more. Awesome, Ricky guys. You can place the hands back in your lap or on your knees and just reset, lengthening through your spine. You can let your chin start to fall down towards your collarbone. Soften your forehead, your jaw, and let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Using an inhale, we're going to roll our heads over towards the left shoulder. Keep going until you feel the stretch the side of your neck, and then pause there. Maybe sit a little taller. Let your head get heavier. And stay for just another inhale. And with the exhale, you can bring your chin back down towards your collarbone. And inhale as you roll your head to the other side. And just keep going until you feel that stretch. And then pause. Breathe. Keeping the length through your spine, but nice soft shoulders. Staying for an inhale. And as you exhale, you can bring your chin back down nice and slow. Just tucking the chin towards the collarbone. Take a breath. And then letting an inhale, lift your chin back up. Just do a neutral place. Your eyes can stay closed, but you might sit a little taller yet. And just notice any sensations flowing through you. Scan your body. How are you feeling today? Take another breath or two and start to open your eyes if you want. But we are going to move to tabletop from here. So you can find your way over onto your hands and knees. With your eyes open or closed. Let's spread your fingers out wide. Maybe give your hips a little bit of a sway. Taking an inhale to drop your belly down as you lift your chest and chin. And exhale as you round the spine. Lift the belly button up, push into your hands. And let an inhale bring you back to just a neutral place. You can keep your hands in the middle, or we can take a step over towards the left side, crooked tabletop. Just turning the chest slightly. Using an inhale to drop your belly down a little bit again. Lift the chest and the chin. And exhale to lift up. Using an inhale to come back to just a long spine and walk your hands back through the middle. And then you can go over towards the right a little bit if you want to. Taking an inhale though to drop the belly and lift the chest and chin. And exhale to lift the belly up. Inhale back to a nice long spine, and then find your way to the middle of the mat again if you're off to the side. One more here. Inhale to drop your belly, lift your chest and chin, and exhale as you round. Awesome, you guys. Let an inhale bring you back to a nice neutral place, and we're going to send our right foot back behind us. Tuck the toes and press into the ball of the foot. Your left toes can tuck under as well. You can hover your knee if you want to. Pressing into the hands, the feet. Maybe you want to leave your left knee on the ground or just a nice little hover. But take another inhale. And as you exhale, we'll come back to tabletop. So let the left knee come down and the right one too. Maybe all your toes will stay tucked under, but we'll just switch sides. Left leg back. Feel free to just enjoy the stretch. But if you want to get a little warmer, maybe you hover your right knee. Push into the hands, push into the feet. Stay for another inhale, and as you exhale, come back down to tabletop and maybe give the hips a gentle sway side to side. You might even replant your palms, spread your fingers out a little bit wider, and then tuck the toes if they aren't already tucked or still tucked, and we'll lift our knees up to downward facing dog. You might pedal your feet a few times as you press into your hands. Let your head get a bit heavier and maybe turn your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Take a slow breath in and out. And push a little bit more into your hands. Let's use an inhale to gaze forwards, and as you exhale, we're going to walk all the way up to the top of the mat. Inhaling into a half lift once you get there, and exhale to fold forward. Inhale as you come all the way up to standing. Reach up and exhale. Lower your arms down to your sides. You can roll your shoulders back and down. And as you inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale into a half lift. And as you exhale, fold down. Inhale all the way up. Reach up. Exhale your arms to your sides. Take another shoulder roll. And as you inhale, reaching on up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale into a half lift. And as you exhale, folding down. We're going to plant our hands and step our feet back to downward facing dog. You can go wide with your feet, maybe towards the edges of the mat. Maybe turning the toes in ever so slightly, but push into your hands. Let your chest be heavy. And whether you've got your feet wide or maybe they're hip width apart still, doesn't matter. We're going to try to lift our heels up, just coming onto the balls of the feet, and then try to drop the heels down and maybe lift the toes. You can try to lift your toes even if the heels aren't touching the ground, and then we'll just lift the heels up and drop them down and maybe try to lift the toes. Let your chest get a bit heavier too. And then one more time, you can lift the heels up and then drop them down and maybe try to lift the toes. And let your head and chest get heavier. And if you did bring your feet wide, just walk them back to be about hip width apart. Using an inhale, we're going to look forwards. And as you exhale, walk to the top of your mat. Inhaling into a half lift once you get there. And exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, let's come all the way up to standing, reaching up. And exhale as you lower your arms down to your sides. Nice, you guys. We are going to stay standing here. We're going to do a little bit of balancing. So if you do want to move to hold on to something, please do. But we're going to stand on our right foot. And maybe our left foot will come back behind us a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. Our hands are going to find our hips though. And maybe we stay lifted on the ball of the left foot that's behind us, just so that we have a bit more weight in our right foot than our left. So you could kind of sway a little bit. You can drop the heel, just shift the weight forward and back, or stay a little bit more forwards maybe. If your left foot does want to bob up and down, just tip the chest forwards a little bit more. If it wants to stay lifted, it can stay lifted. You might tip forwards. You might end up in warrior 3, pressing into your right foot. Maybe you'll take your arms out nice and wide too. Just take a moment to breathe. And press the ground away, whether it's just the right foot or maybe a part of the left foot too. And if you're leaning forwards a little or a lot, just find your way back up and both feet to the ground. Shake it out a little bit. Maybe take a shoulder roll or a few. And then start to stand on the left foot a little bit more than the right foot. But you could step the right foot back a little bit. Doesn't matter how far it goes. Feel free to shift the weight between foot. Front foot, back foot, left foot, right foot. Maybe that right heel stays lifted. And then maybe a little lift and lower of that right foot. Find the wobbles. A little bit of time here to just try. Maybe leaning forwards a little bit. Maybe your foot will float. Maybe you'll keep leaning. Whatever feels good. Your arms might go wide to help balance. Warrior 3. Pressing the ground away. Whatever's touching the ground, just press it a little bit more into the ground. Awesome work, you guys. Find your way up. If you're leaning forwards any amount, plant the feet. Give them a nice little shake as well. You can find the top of your mat if you're not there. And just roll your shoulders back and down as you inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale, folding forwards. Inhale into a half lift. And as you exhale, we're going to fold and plant our hands. Take your right foot back, as far back as you can, and then lower your knee down. So a lunge with our left foot forwards. You can keep that foot in the middle of your mat, or you can heel toe it over to the left. Lizard lunge. But if you can plant the hands and push them into the ground a little bit, letting the hips sink forwards and down. You can keep your back leg, that knee down, or you could tuck your toes and lift it up if you wanted to. Pressing whatever's touching the ground into the ground. Now, if you did lift the back knee, we can bring it down. We're going to stay here, though. If you need to adjust anything, we're just going to stay a little bit longer. Sinking into the hips. And we might add a twist to this, coming in and coming out of that twist a few times. So, option to keep the knee down or to have it lifted. Up to you. But our right hand will stay on the ground, and the left one could lift up to the knee, or it could reach up. Take an inhale and twist. And exhale, tap the ground with that left hand. Take an inhale to twist. And exhale to tap the ground. And one more. Inhale to twist. And exhale to come down. Plant that left hand. If your knee is up right now, you can bring it down just to take another second here. Sink into the hips. And if you brought your foot over to that left side for lizard lunge, we're going to heel toe it back into the middle and then send our hips back. So some half splits. You can point your toes down. You can point your toes up. And then just an option, if you're able to have your hands on the ground here and actually put some weight into your hands, we could maybe lift our back knee and straighten the front leg. But to do that, we might come into the lunge again and tuck the back toes. The knee might lift, and then we could try to straighten the front leg. Just an option. Still letting your chest tip down towards that front leg. So whether you've got your knee down or up right now, let's take another breath here and use an inhale to come back into the lunge. Bend the front knee. Keep your back knee on the ground if you want, or lift it up, but use an inhale to look forwards. And as you exhale, we'll bring our back foot all the way to the top of the mat to inhale into a half lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale as you come all the way up to standing. Reach up. Exhale, lower your arms to your sides and take a shoulder roll. As you inhale, reach back up. Exhale to fold forwards. And inhale into a half lift. As you exhale, folding down to plant your hands, and our left foot will come back. As far back as you can get it, and then you can lower your knee down and adjust so that you are comfortable in your lunge. Maybe your foot will stay in the middle, or you can heel toe it to the right side. But sinking into the hips, pressing into your hands. You can leave your back knee on the ground, or you could tuck the toes and lift it up. And if you're lifting it up, press everything into the ground. And if you do have your back knee lifted right now, you might just bring it down gently Take a moment to sink a little bit more into the hip. And maybe we're going to be twisting, maybe 3 times, or you could just hold your twist if you want to, or skip it. But decide if you want your knee to be lifted or to stay on the ground. Our left hand will stay planted. The right hand could lift up to the knee first, and then maybe reach up, take an inhale, and exhale to tap the ground if you'd like. Inhale to reach up and twist. Exhale to tap the ground. One more. Inhale to reach up. And exhale to bring the right hand back down. And if your knee is lifted, maybe you keep it there. And we can heel toe our foot back to the middle. And then drop the knee if you've got it lifted. And we'll send our hips back. Half splits with the knee down. Maybe pressing the toes down or pointing them up. And you can stay here. If you did want to try to lift that back knee up, you might find a lunge first. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and then try to straighten the leg. Take another breath. And then we can use an inhale to come back into our lunge. Maybe you're lifting the knee, maybe not. But take an inhale to look forwards. And as you exhale, bring your back foot up to the top. Inhale into a half lift. And as you exhale, folding forward. Inhale to come all the way up to standing, reach up, and exhale, lower your arms down. Take a shoulder roll, and as you inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding. Inhale into a half lift, and as you exhale, folding forwards. We're going to plant our hands and step our feet back into downward facing dog. Just to take a nice deep breath in, let your chest get heavier. And as you breathe out, we're going to bring our knees down. You can bring them wide and find child's pose. Sending your hips back, melting your chest down. Resting your forehead on something. Slowing down your breath. So we can stay with our lower body in child's pose. Or you could come back up to tabletop and be on your hands and knees. We're going to be taking our right arm, though, and bringing it under the chest over towards the left. Trying to rest on the shoulder. And then maybe our left hand will actually hold on to the right hand and slide it away a little bit. And if you can rest your head down, do that. Just feeling a pull through that right arm, maybe through your back. If you're holding, your hands are holding on to one another, start to let them go. Maybe lifting your chest up slightly just to take your arm out from underneath you. Maybe if you're still in child's pose, you'll just reset a little bit, sending the hips back towards your heels again. But feel free to be in tabletop. And then our left arm will come under. And maybe our right hand will hold on to it and kind of pull it away a little bit. Try to get your shoulder down. Try to rest your head if possible. Let your hands go from one another. And slowly come back. Take your arm out from under your chest. If you are still in child's pose, you might lift your hips up now and come to tabletop. Take a sway through the hips. And then reaching both arms in front. You can be flat on your palms or lifted on your fingertips, but we're going to do 3 breaths, lifting the chest up and down. So before you go, just take an inhale, and as you exhale, let your chest melt down. Maybe your elbows stay lifted. Use an inhale to lift, and exhale to lower your chest. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. Using an inhale to lift, and then walk your hands in back to your tabletop and maybe taking a sway of the hips. All right, we're going to stay here on our knees just a little bit longer. I'm going to bring mine a little closer together though. We're going to try to rest our left foot into the arch of the right foot. So you can keep the knees, there could be space between the knees for sure, or they can be a little closer. Up to you. But rest your left foot in the arch of the right and then try to send your hips back. And you might keep leaning forwards, pushing into the hands a little bit. Or you could sit back. Could sit all the way back. And maybe you don't feel anything at all in your feet here. Maybe you feel something. Just let your shoulders fall from your ears. And if you are sitting all the way back, just lean forwards a bit so your hands can come to the ground again. Kind of walk them forwards. Lift your hips up. If you got to shake it out. And then just switch sides. The right foot resting in the arch of the left. And slowly sending the hips back. I forgot for a second which side was my fun side, so this is my fun side. So if you want to stay leaning forwards, please do. If you want to sit all the way back, sit all the way back. And if you're lucky, you feel something. Just a few breaths here. Close your eyes. Soften your forehead, your cheeks. And If you are sitting all the way back, come back forwards, hands to the ground, shake out the ankles, feet a little bit. And then we're going to scooch our knees all the way to the left side so we can lower onto the right hip. Stacking the legs and just turning the chest to face forwards. And you might be lifted on the fingertips or flats on the palms. And we're pressing the ground away. Feeling the twist through the core. Now you can kind of turn your chest towards the left side and lower onto your right forearm. And bring your left hand behind you a little bit. Just keeping the legs stacked, or you could cross your top leg over your bottom leg. Just a little press into that right forearm. If you did cross your legs, you can try to uncross them and just stack them again. And bring your left hand back in front. And then we'll push ourselves all the way up onto our hands and knees. So back to tabletop. Take a little sway of your hips. And then you can scooch the knees over towards the right. Lowering that left hip down and then just turning your chest to face forwards and push your hands into the ground. And slowly turn the chest back over towards the right and lower onto the left forearm. The right hand can come behind you, just keeping the legs stacked, or crossing the top leg over the bottom leg. A little press of that left forearm into the ground. Got your legs crossed, you can uncross them, stack them, bring the right hand in front again, and then press yourself up to tabletop. Just one more time. Shake it out. Sway your hips, maybe even take a cat and cow. Let an inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest. Exhale as you lift it up, round the spine. Take an inhale to come back to just a neutral place, and we could cross the ankles, but we're going to take a seat, however you need to get to seated with your legs in front of you. You can give the knees a hug or a squeeze. Take a sway side to side. And then we're going to lean back a little bit, not laying down quite yet. So lean back. You can plant your feet on the ground, maybe about hip-width apart, like we're getting ready to lay down, but we're not laying down yet. So you can hold on to the legs or the knees or reach past, but think lengthening the spine instead of rounding the spine like we're going to lay down. Lengthening the spine. Pulling the belly button in, leaving your feet on the ground. Shoulders falling away from the ears. And then we're going to lay down. I'm crooked right now, so I'm just going to turn a little bit. So I end up on my mat, round the spine, to slowly, slowly lay down. Shoulders, head. You can walk the feet closer or hug your knees to your chest. Maybe take a sway side to side, massage your back against the ground. And then our feet are gonna come back down, and you can plant your feet about hip-width apart, arms to your sides. And we're gonna lift our hips up 3 times, up and down 3 times. You can take an inhale to lift any amount. And exhale to slowly lower. Your hips might just hover. They don't have to come all the way down. But let an inhale lift them up. Little squeeze, press into the ground. And exhale to lower. And one more time, and inhale to lift. And exhale to lower down, and then leave your hips on the ground. Maybe even gently press your low back into the ground. You might notice your feet. Can you lift the heels, press into the balls of the feet? What happens when you lower your heels and then try to lift your toes? Maybe even the balls of the feet will lift. Turn on your ankles. And then you can lower your feet so they're flat. Give your knees a gentle sway side to side. And then we're going to heel toe our feet out towards the edges of the mat. Maybe not quite that far, but feet wide, knees wide. And then you can try to sway the knees side to side a few more times. Then lifting the knees back up so they're pointing up. Feet as wide as your knees are, knees as wide as your feet are. Your toes might be pointing out ever so slightly too. And then 3 lifts and lowers of the hips. Arms to the sides, to the ground. And an inhale to lift. Squeeze. Just keeping the knees as wide as the feet. So the exhale, bring your hips down. Maybe just to a hover, maybe all the way down. But inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. And one more time. And inhale to lift. And then exhale to lower. And gently press your low back into the ground. Maybe a little sway of the knees. Notice your feet again. Can you float the heels? Pressing into the toes and the balls of the feet. Can you lower the heels and try to lift the toes? Maybe the balls of the feet. And then just bring them down. So your feet are flat again, but you can start to sway the knees some more. And we can keep our feet wide and our knees wide, but we'll tip our legs all the way over to the left, or our knees to the left. Your feet might stay on the edges of the mat. You can have your arms out to the sides if that's comfortable for your upper body. Maybe your left foot lifts up and rests on top of the right leg. If your legs are crossed right now, bring your left foot back down, maybe to the edge of the mat again, or where it was. Lift your knees slowly, take a sway side to side, maybe even just pausing at center and trying to lift the heels. And then dropping the heels and lifting the toes, maybe the balls of the feet. Just flexing the ankles. Plant the feet flat, take a gentle sway side to side, and then you can tip your knees all the way over towards the right, as far as they will go. Maybe your right foot will be lifting and resting on top of the left leg. If you do have your legs crossed, bring the right foot back down. Lift your knees up. Maybe a little bit of a sway of the legs. And then we might heel the toe, the feet back in a little closer together, maybe hip width apart though. Just for one more lift of the heels. And then drop the heels, lift the toes, maybe the balls of the feet. And then relax. Just plant your feet flat. Leave your feet on the ground, or you can hug your knees to your chest. And sway side to side if you'd like. Massaging your back against the ground. You might end up in happy baby. Knees wide, feet wide, doing that same kind of flex of the ankles, the feet to send the heels up, maybe a little higher than the toes. If you've got your legs lifted up right now, you can slowly bring them down. Plant the feet again, or start to send your legs out long, maybe out wide. Make any adjustments so that you are comfortable. Resting your arms by your sides, or maybe your hands on your belly. And settling into Shavasana. Just feeling your breath. You can slowly start to move. Take a slow, deep breath in and out. Maybe a nice big stretch. Bending your knees so that you can roll over. And finding your way up to a comfy seat when you're ready. Bring your hands together if you'd like. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you guys on Wednesday. Namaste.